Greetings, gamer guys and gals. Welcome to part 49 of my Let's Play Fire Emblem 5 Thracia 776, and in today's episode we're going to be continuing on doing all we can do in this chapter in order to destroy all the enemies we are facing. We are going to be putting Xavier here. Actually, over the next couple of turns, he's going to be single-handedly taking out this entire force of evildoers, Thracians. But before we do, we actually have a unit here we have to take care of. This guy has a hammer, and we don't want that hammer to come into contact with Xavier. Not a good idea, personally. What we are also going to do is take out this iron ballista here, as he is quite the nuisance. Interesting thing is that doing this puts her in the range of these Thracian Draco Knights. However, if we are remotely smart, which I try to be, we can rescue and move our units out of the way. Perfect. We're going to put Leif right here with his Kingmaker. He's going to be very instrumental to helping out Xavier over the next couple of turns. And we can just keep moving down with the rest of our units. Alright, we do have a sleep we could use, potentially worth using. I might end up using one silence staff use on the bolting sage down to the south, or bolting bishop, I should say. Let's equip thunder here. We definitely want that. Move Laura as much as we can, and then we have the upper group to deal with. But before we talk about them personally, we have quite a big mess of enemies here, and I do want to take care of at least one of these ballista with bolting. I am thinking about silencing this bolting bishop. We do want to capture all three of these enemies right here, because we want the blizzard, we want the sleep, and we want the bolting. The rest of the stuff is definitely useful, and I'm going to definitely try to get all of the rest of the stuff, but it's not needed in order to make my strategies a reality. What we can do is take out this ballistician with Armalda. One of the best units in this game, undersold how great she is, and she is further proof that the A route is just far and away better. We are going to move... I think it's probably for the best to move you here. We should be able to reach from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, we can reach as long as one of these guys is not in the way. We might have a problem with them wanting to be in the way. Alright, let's stay out of the range of this ballista here. We do want to prepare our flyers for getting Linoan over to the church as soon as possible. And that is our turn. Yeah, it's not surprising he wanted to attack Dermot. Kind of strange that both of them decided to attack him, since other units can be reached. Alright, Laura is not really doing much in the background, but we are actually going to rescue her and bring her forward. And of course, Olwen always proving that she is a fantastic unit, especially once you garner some levels on her. Now that's a mite bit unfortunate. The only thing we can do here to defend from all these enemies is actually to back up. I was really hoping that would not be what they would do. Hand axe. Well, that's very nice that I think he adepted there. He definitely did not a cost. He would have attacked more times than that because he was doubling. Yes. So, This is a bit of a conundrum here. So what we can do is we can take out one of these guys and just flee. We want Xavier to take out all of these guys by himself. That's super unfortunate that Nana just missed both of those. Kind of a bit wild that that was the case. Yeah, this is going to take our turn count and add like 2 or 3 turns to it, which I don't particularly care for. But Xavier should be able to take out the rest of these guys by himself very quickly. We want Safi to be far enough back that she's not in any immediate danger. Sarah could use some experience points here. Let's move you right here. Yeah, Finn is in an unfortunate spot because he's going to be attacked by a couple of different units. Let's put you here. And then we can attack. See, Olwen is promoted and already level 16. I don't think she needs more experience points, but honestly, Sarah kind of doesn't need it either because she is pretty darn strong. Now, of course, her HP stinks. That's kind of true of almost all of the magic units in this game. There's just about none that have a good HP or even HP growth. Sarah has a decent growth, but it's just not something... You can't expect them to be tanks. The way that Kaga designed a lot of these old school games and maps in Fire Emblem was that he didn't necessarily want you to be just immediately overpowered. Granted, sages are very strong. But that sort of kind of just comes with the territory. Alright, the Bayo Blade. Very awesome weapon. Alright, so we kind of can't do anything about this ballista until we kill this ballista. The moment we do, we can actually send Dean in immediately and just take out that ballista all in all. And then after we get Linoan to the church, we can start flying down and harassing these units with our flyers once we help get rid of some of the ballista as well. We should be pretty good for the rest of this turn. And of course, I think those guys are going to go for Sarah just because she is the weakest defensively. Luckily for Sarah, she's not going to get hit by them, and even if she is, she's in no real danger of being two-shot, I don't think. At least not by those guys, particularly. It is really unfortunate that Wrath cancels out Vantage. I think that's very strange design. Yep, and of course he's going to attack Fergus because Fergus can't attack back, but there is also Sarah. She should be attacked otherwise. Ooh, and he goes after Olwen? Crazy. Crazy, in fact. Maybe Sarah was doing more damage. That's probably the reason. Oh, they don't even want to attack Xavier. I think he might only get Simets here. Soldiers of Leonster, prepare yourselves. Ooh. Why didn't he wrath? Oh, Nihil. Oh, yeah, that's funny. So Xavier might have been actually a bad choice for this. That's really funny, actually. Oh, well. The only thing I can do now with all of these wonderful Draco Knights is try to defeat as many as I possibly can. Unfortunately, we're going to have to keep out of the range of all of them because of the fact that they all have, well, with our mounted units particularly, they all have Rider's Banes, which is just not great. We can still deal with Cymets with Xavier, but I don't know that it's going to go all that well. So we're probably just going to move in and start dealing with all of these units. We're going to have to dismount. I kind of don't want anybody to be within range of Cymets, though. Alright, so what we're going to have to do... Brave Sword. Yeah, that's the problem with some of these later game chapters, regardless of how strong your units are. This is something I love about this game's design. Regardless of how strong your units are, you are always threatened because of like enemies with strong weapons, enemies with weapons that are effective against your mounted units or your armored units, so on and so forth, your flyers. You're always threatened, and I think that's good game design. Personally, I am not one who plays games specifically and only for hardcore challenge. I do love challenge. Everybody who plays games loves some sort of challenge, or you wouldn't be playing them. Unless you're playing something like a clicker, which is wildly something I could not possibly do, in my own humble opinion. But the fact of the matter is that in this game has good challenge that makes sense, not really just challenge for challenge sake, because that's also a problem, is that a lot of modern games have challenge, but it's literally just challenge to make the game super difficult or unruly or annoying. That's kind of true of a lot of the modern Fire Emblem games. Modern Fire Emblem entries don't really have a good grasp on good challenge. Alright. We just want to keep our mounted units out of the range of any one of these units who have... We could probably just use the Iron Sword here, honestly. Any of the dragons who have a Rider's Bane, we definitely want to keep out of the range of them. So, right here, that should be fine. He's most likely going to go attack Laura, which is A-okay with me. We can just move Leif down here. Again, it would be nice if, alright, we can attack here. Master Sword. It would be nice if, all of them had gone after Xavier and he did sweep them over. I'm guessing he just has way too much defense. See, this is why I'm saying you necessarily don't want him to have a high defense growth. You don't need it, because Xavier himself has 17 defense base. Yeah, with javelins, they're not doing any damage to him. With the Rider's Bane, they are. I don't know why they didn't decide to attack him with the Rider's Bane. It could not possibly have been because he was using a hand axe. It could not possibly have been. I would find that exceptionally crazy. Alright, so we could defeat one of these armor knights. We're just going to go ahead and defeat this ballista here. And then, let's rescue you. And this will be perfect. We're going to get Linoan to the church she needs to visit pretty much ASAP. That's nice. Alright, so end our turn here. We don't want to take too long on this chapter because I do believe there are some pretty annoying reinforcements later on that will definitely hamper us a bit. Alright, Dermot has to dodge at least one of these guys. They all have axes too, so the fact that he's not dodging is kind of crazy. They do have 30-something odd hits, though. Part of that is probably due to the bosses, or the boss particularly. I think he has 3 authority stars, which is a little bit crazy to have to deal with. It's not exactly exceptional or anything like that. It would have been nice if Laura got even something. Okay, Simetz is going to be destroyed this turn. Alright, so what we have to do is move on quicker with our Leif getting towards the seize point, obviously, because he needs to seize the chapter in order to, or for us to win, that is. We're going to go ahead and dance with Leif here. And then attack with Merida. Perfect. Awesome. And, ooh, she got a movement star. That's nice. And we can use Tornado. Why not? Let's just hope we hit here, though. And we did. He could proc Miracle, which is why we might not have hit, even though we had 99 hit. I mean, you can miss with a 99 hit. That's true, too. But pesky Miracle can get in the way of things. Your Majesty, I'm sorry, I couldn't do anything that meant anything, could you? Merida. What we could do is check the vendor here. Alright, so this is, I believe, the last opportunity to buy wind. We might buy a few of those. Armory. We have silver sword, silver lance, silver axe, and silver bow. Those are not bad purchases, especially if you're going to do some arena abusing, which I kind of want to do. Would be nice to do that with Xavier, especially because he needs the experience points. Alright, let's get straight into the arena and check out who we're fighting. A bishop with fire. Now, we do have 7 magic. That's not exactly all that great, especially considering that we don't have good hit. It's likely that... Alright. He only has to hit one more time. Awesome. I was going to say it's likely that this is not a good idea. And we kind of saw the reason why. Xavier almost died. Alright, so... I halfway don't want to do that anymore. But it would be nice to get him some experience points, so we'll see, we'll see. And we can, of course, visit this house. It's already been 20 years. Oh, If I were just 10 years younger, I'd drop everything to fight with you folks. Here, I'll give you my favorite sword. Mayhap if you use it, I'll still be fighting in some small way. Silver sword, nice. I appreciate any freebies that you're willing to give us. Let's go here, I guess, and attack some Frege units. Not exactly all that threatening. I mean, Leif could move way forward, but the problem is we don't want him to get blizzarded or bolting. He would just get ganged up on, so we're not going to do that quite yet. Very nice. Yeah, I find that Soul is not really all that useful for most characters in this game. It is a skill percent chance, so the maximum you can even get is only a 20% chance. It's not that likely, but it is useful when it procs. Very nice. We dodged, but he dodged as well. Did he proc Miracle? I'm willing to bet he did. That's kind of part of the pain of these units here. And the thing is once they proc Miracle, they're invincible for the rest of combat regardless. It is a very powerful skill, and I think that modern versions of Miracle are a little bit underwhelming in the sense that it's a percentage chance to block like a single hit and nothing else. I don't particularly like that. See, this guy should have died to Sarah. But because of his ridiculous Miracle, we needed 2 other units to take him out. Perfect. Good job, Finn. I'm not wasting a fire sword use on you. And we can go right here. I definitely wanted him to be a little bit closer for Imelda, so I didn't have to use up a physic, but we need it specifically for the next couple of turns. Dean can go right here. I halfway want to equip the Master Lance just because I believe we're going to deal with ranged units. Yeah, imagine how incredibly powerful the Dragon Pike would be if it was a ranged weapon as well. Alright, so we're just going to go here. We're going to make sure the Dragon Pike is equipped, but we're also going to visit... Ah, you're the Duchess Linoan of Tahra, are you not? How do you know who I am? I grew up with your father. He and I didn't know each other particularly well, but I was also good friends with your late mother. I nearly mistook you for her when you walked in. The resemblance is uncanny. Oh, is that so? Oh, heavens, I didn't mean to upset you. I take it you're with Prince Leif? I saw you fighting together outside. I am with the Liberation Army, yes. It seems the blood of the Crusaders is drawn to conflict. Blood of the Crusaders? You don't mean I have holy blood? Your father didn't tell you? The ducal house of Tahra is descended from Saint Haim, the first of the Granville kings. I have the blood of Saint Haim? You mean to say you never realized you bore the power of Naga herself? Follow me. I can awaken the holy blood that lay dormant in your veins. Very well. And we finally get the Linoan promotion, and it's quite a busted one. You actually do not at all need her to reach level 20 before she promotes. Problem is that if you're going to use her, she likely just caps at 20 anyhow, because staves are so powerful in this game concerning experience points gains. And she gains some pretty wild stats. +5 speed and magic is enough on its own, but +3 skill and +5 defense is kind of crazy too. She even gets some constitution, though that's not useful. She does get adept, which is a class skill, very nice, especially considering that it works on attack speed % chance. Now, she only has an 8% on that, but she can use pretty much every other reasonably good tome, so you don't need her to use Nosferatu, though it is her own, like, niche weapon. Alright, so we're gonna rescue you. Move here. We're gonna take and drop you so that you are helping Dean. And I guess we can move Safi. We don't really need her to stay in the back. There is someone we could heal, but he'll be fine. Alright. There is, unfortunately, a bow unit here. Perfect. And Leif is being shot at by the ballista, though the ballista are not really a threat to a character like Leif anymore, so it's not that big a deal. We do have some pretty massive threats down there, however. Very good that we dodged there. So, what we want to do, and this is very important, we want to block all of the reinforcement zones on this side. It's one of the reasons why I sent so many units to the north and top, even though pretty much Amalda and Dermot were able to deal with them by themselves, basically. Alright. Dermot, very good job. We can wait here. Misha would like some experience points, but then again, we're kind of at a point where, unfortunately, a lot of the chapters to come after this are indoor chapters. There's a couple outdoor chapters. It's not like your outdoor units are totally going to be useless at this stage. You do want to make sure that we're not putting Dean in the way of any of these guys, and we are not. But unless your mounted units have some indoor viability and utility, they're not going to be all that useful for the upcoming chapters, which is a bit sad, but it's also something you can't really do anything about. All right. We can move forward, but again, we have to be very mindful and very careful of folks like this Blizzard using unit here. It's going to be unfortunate having to try to deal with this unit particularly. Only thing we can do is let him sleep someone, or try to, and then hopefully make it over to him over the next like turn or two. It's gonna be a little bit difficult. One thing, we're definitely going to have to take advantage of Laura here. Alright, so with that being said, let's start taking out the rest of these units right here. I don't believe we'll have any more Frege units reinforced, but again, they're kind of non-factors, non-issues, so that's not really that big of a deal. And here we have Burita, capped on strength, skill, speed, and luck. Would be nice if she got a bit more magic. maybe like up to 10 magic or so. She's perfectly adequate at 9. I think she's doesn't need any more for the rest of this game, but you can never really have too much defensive measures against the hordes of enemies that this game likes to throw at you. We can even dance for you. Alright, we want Laura firmly out of range of that unit. Problem is, we're also going to need to rescue... I believe Sarah has my restore. Who has my restore? Is it Linoan? Don't tell me it's Linoan. It is Linoan. That's pretty fantastic. Alright, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to bait him probably with the right side so Linoan can restore. I don't like that. That's not great. In fact, that's pretty darn terrible. Well, the only thing we can do is warp. I think warp is probably the best thing we can do here. And we're going to have to just KO Fraus. We're not going to be able to get his specific tome. That's sad. That's really sad. So, who in the world is up for that task? That's a good question. Alright, let's make sure you have the Kingmaker on. Yeah, we do have a sleep, but it doesn't work on anybody who's on a gate. So... this is going to be a little bit more difficult than I would like it to be. And we do have a rescue as well. I could rescue Linoan. That's not a terrible idea, actually. It's terrible that I have to do that, but it's not necessarily like a terrible idea in general. Alright. Take and drop. And that's pretty much it for our turn. Okay, we are still getting Frege Lance reinforcements. I do believe those guys both have rewarps. Which is kind of funny. If they had Vigor stars, they would be quite a bit more effective as enemies, but they do not. So, unlucky for them, I suppose. They likely only have one hit on Laura. It's potentially very low, like sub 10. Very nice, everybody dodging everything. That's a funny thing to do, attack Merida. They get 2 attacks on her. But what good is 2 attacks on her if she's not gonna die in 30 attacks? Alright, so I think this is a perfect opportunity for us to say our farewells, for me to end this episode, and to bid you all adieu. I want to thank you for joining me. If you like my content, please upvote and follow, or like and subscribe depending on your platform, and while you're at it, have a great and glorious day gaming.